Well, hello, hello. Those are our Stevia Creations. How are you doing? Bringing to you a new video on chunky homemade granola. I've made this before. I did a video on it, but it got messed up, and I got to do another one because it's time to make some more anyway. But this is the main recipe where I got this from. I watch Becky at Acre Homestead. Check out her channel. I'll put a link to her channel on the description box. And I really like this granola recipe. Number one, I like my granola in little chunks, little clusters, okay? Because I like to be able to just take a couple of bites just for that whenever I'm starving, but I don't want to eat no candy. And with my weight loss program, I'm trying to stay away from that. So that's the main reason why I wanted to try this recipe. Number one, because it clumps, and the ingredients on that was pretty good. But let me get my readers on. And I've already got everything ready and pre-measured, but it asks for 6 cups old-fashioned oats, 1.5 cups slivered raw almonds, 1.5 cups of raw sunflower seeds. I don't do sunflower seeds and I don't do pumpkin seeds, so I'm skipping that part. 1 cup whole wheat or all-purpose flour. And you can substitute the whole wheat or the flour for something else, and there's notes in the description. So when you see her link in the recipe, you'll see what those items are. And it's basically, you can do gluten-free flour. Okay, then it comes with asks for 3/4 cup of packed brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, 3/4 cup of melted coconut oil, 1/2 cup of water, 1/2 cup of pure maple syrup. And optional, you can add shredded coconut or coconut flakes. Oh, I forgot to go grab that. I need to go grab that. Okay, then what you do is you preheat your oven at 300 degrees, and you're gonna cook. You could either put grease a cookie sheet with a little lip to it, or put parchment paper. I'm doing the lazy way, and I'm putting parchment paper on mine because I want no cleanup. And then you're gonna cook it. You're gonna lay it all on the cookie sheet flat. Get it as flat as possible. And then you're going to bake it for 20 minutes. Then you're going to flip it, okay? And it's going to break up a little bit, but just get what you can with the spatula, and then flip it. Put it back in the oven for another 20 to 30 minutes, until you get a nice little golden crust on the top, okay? And you can, if you want to, after that, if it's still not cooked, because everybody's oven's different, is every 10 minutes flip it. The whole thing, the whole pan, all the granola on the pan, flip it, and do it again until the whole thing is nice and cooked and you see a golden brown look. Okay, and like I said, I already did this myself before, and it's really good. And I did actually have to cook an additional, so I cooked 20, 40, 60, I had to do it 60 minutes for me to get I like the toasty flavor and the toasty look, because that's just what I like. Hubby don't eat this, so it's just me. And I'm going to be adding chopped pecans to mine. But I wanted to bring this because, I just said I'm on the low-cal thing. A low-cal weight program is I used Splenda dark brown sugar made out of Splenda instead of regular brown sugar, which is just sugar mixed with molasses. And hubby's looking at me. He don't want to be in the video. And that's one way, just a little bit, not much, for me to curb on the calories in the granola. And I'm using whole wheat flour instead of all-purpose flour, but you could use either one. I also have some gluten-free almond flour, but I'm almost out of my whole wheat, and I'm going to hurry up and use that because I have some more in the fridge before this gets too old, because I don't like my flour to get really old. And then I do have maple. This is the last part of my 100% pure maple. It's organic. Maple Grove Farms organic 100% pure maple syrup. See that? That's the last of it. But these glass jars, don't throw these away. Save these. This is a perfect size jar for you to wash out, get it cleaned really well, get it air dry really well, and then save it. I would say let it air out just to get the flavor of this out of here just a little bit. When you want to make your extracts, like a vanilla bean extract, an almond extract, coconut extract, any of those extracts, because this is a perfect size, and it's a glass bottle, and it's got a screw top lid to it. So this is a great jar to put anything you want in it, really. It's totally up to you, so don't throw your jar away if you have room and space for it, okay? So I'm going to just, I had it tipping upside down because I want to use, because everybody knows maple syrup is expensive right now. Has been for a couple of years. Okay. But I'll bring you right back because I want to go bring my coconut, my shredded coconut, because I definitely want my coconut in here. I'll bring you right back. Okay, we back. I've got diced coconut flakes, and then I've got shredded coconut flakes. I got like 4 of these containers of this. I think I've got 6 of the shredded coconut flakes. But for this, I'm going to use my shredded because that's what I used last time, and it was really good. So let's get to the project. I've already put in here in my bowl the 6 cup of oats, and I'm using my instant oats because I want this to hurry up and cook quickly. You could use your rolled oats because it doesn't say, it just says old-fashioned oats. It didn't say instant or regular, and the difference is just the cooking time. Plus there's some nutrient difference. I don't know it off the top of my head, but I've read on it before, so I'll put it in the description box, the difference between the instant and the regular rolled oats. And I've got my flour. See right there, my flour, my sugar, my oats, there they are. So I'm going to mix this all up. And I put my recipes in a sheet protector, and then I put them in a 3-ring binder, and I put everything in alphabetical order. Like this is granola, so this will be under the letter G. Okay, my OCD kicks in on that stuff. Like not only that, but I'm a messy cook, and if I spill, I don't want to stain my paper and have to print another copy, which I can do, but I don't want to. So now I'm just going to mix up my dry ingredients, which right now is just the flour and the granola. Don't forget, go all the way down to the middle of the bowl because you want to get all that. It doesn't take very much. Now I'm going to be adding my coarse salt. And I went ahead and I'm adding my organic powdered peanut butter. This is really good. This is a good flavor. I'm definitely going to order some more of this stuff. Just to give myself some peanut butter flavor. I really don't know, but since I made the first batch exactly to the T of the recipe, now I'm going to change it and modify it a little bit. And I'm going to be able to, this video will help me keep track of what I modified. So I'll be able to know of trial and error what worked or what didn't work. So now I'm just going to mix this up. And I only put in there maybe like half a cup of peanut butter. Okay, I didn't want to do too much because I wasn't too sure. But the more that I make this recipe, I'll know what I can tweak and what I can't tweak. So now I'm just mixing this up. Woo! So wish we had smell-o-vision. That peanut butter smells good. Alright, so that's it. Now let's add the brown sugar. This is my Stevia Brown Sugar. And I know a lot of people have to be careful because some people can't have stevia. But because I'm not sharing this is all mine. I'm going to be a little hog, and not share my food. So far, stevia hasn't really affected me very much. Now, 15, 20 years ago, it used to give me migraine headaches. But I've been slowly bringing it back into my weight loss program. And so far, knock on wood, my table's been out of wood. It hasn't done any of that so far. So, now this is my first recipe of using a full course. Usually I just like do 1/4 of a cup. And that's what I've been slowly bringing into my diet. This is anything made with stevia, so when it calls for sugar, I use 1/4 of it, of whatever the recipe calls for, is stevia sugar. Just to see if I get headaches or migraines. Actually, I got migraines. I didn't get headaches. I got migraines. The kind you want to, I would hit my head on the wall to knock myself out because they were so severe. And many years ago, over 15, 20 years ago, I used to have to go to the hospital. And it's like, ugh. So don't want to do that again. And who knows? Maybe it's just the way they make things, the way they process stuff. Who knows? Maybe it's just an ingredient that I'm no longer. It doesn't affect me anymore. I don't know. I just know I just stay away from it because it gave me migraines, even though it was good for my diet. But I got away from it, and now I want to get back because I really want to go back to. I want to lose some more weight. I've lost some, but I'm not even close to where I want to go. I would like to be slim and trim, 120 pounds. I'm 5 foot. I want to have that hourglass shape. 36, 22, 36. We'll see if that works. That's my goal. Me and my husband, he said they're laughing at me. But to me, mentally, that's my goal. 36, 22, 36. Like I used to be. Which I really was. And that was in my early 20s. Okay, so now all my brown sugar, all the little clumps are gone. At least from what I can tell. Don't forget, continue to pick up from the middle center so you can make sure everything's mixed up together. Oh, there's a few more clumpers. I see that here. Okay, man, that smells so good. I can smell the peanut butter. Okay, I've got all my dark. Now we're going to add the coconut, and I'm not going to measure because I'm just going to pour. And the only reason is I'm doing that, not measuring, is because I already did it once before. And I think it was 1/4 cup is what I used. But I would like coconut. So, okay, come on. Alrighty, let's mix this back in here. Let me break up these little clumps of coconut. And let's put this all and mix it all up. Okay, so that's there. There's my pecans. These are pecan pieces that we went ahead and bought. It's called Nature's Eat. I have a bad knee. I did a boo-boo yesterday. Got a bad knee now. Okay, that's why I'm sitting instead of standing up. And I'm just going to pour, because I like nuts. I like a lot of nuts. Alrighty, let me move all that out of my way, because I got to bring my cookie sheet over here. Because let me mix that right quick. Oh yeah, I think that's enough nuts. I don't want to go overboard. Nuts are expensive, so I don't want to take it easy. Now let's add the wet ingredients. So first thing is my water. And I'm going to just mix all the wet ingredients together at the same time. My maple syrup. And I'm going to try to get every bit of morsel of that maple syrup, because that's expensive, good stuff. Alrighty. I'm going to put all my dirty dishes in one bowl for easy cleanup. Okay, here's my coconut oil. My dirty spoon. Let me get my towel, because I want to make sure all my mess is out of the way. I'm going to put my cookie sheet over here. Alrighty. Now let's just mix this up. You can, if you want to, use your fingers, use your hand, and just mix it all up. I just don't feel up to it today, so I'm just going to use my spoon. And you just want to make sure it's all mixed up. And I just want to double check to make sure I got all the ingredients in here. Okay, so I got my oats. Yes, I'm not using the almonds today. We're using pecans. And the flour, the sugar, the salt, the coconut oil, the water, and the maple syrup. So I really didn't even take a whole lot of ingredients. Okay, so I'm just going to mix this all up. Okay, I'm going to mix this all up and I'm going to bring it back. I'm going to go ahead and line my cookie sheet. And then I'll bring it back when we get to that phase and we'll put it in the oven. Okay, we're back now. We're going to line up this cookie sheet. Once it gets lighter, I'll pick it up, but I can't pick it up until it gets lighter. Normally you can just dump the whole thing in here, then smooth it out, but I don't have enough hand grip for that. And continue as you're scooping it out to look to make sure that the entire mixture, there's no flour or dry ingredients that did not get incorporated. Okay, now I can dump it. Rosa likes to scrape every little part out of the bowl. That could be one whole bite. There we go. Good enough for me. Just a little bit of speckles, not very many. So I didn't waste hardly anything. It's all going to be used. Now I'm going to move my parchment paper. I got a little short, but that's okay. It'll work. And I'm just going to press this down. I'm just starting at one end and going to the other end and making an even shape. Oh, I got a little too much. I'll make some more on this spot. I'm going to make sure no food touches my pan because I'm lazy and I don't want to wash this pan. This pan's hard because it's heavy. Unless I get hubby to wash it, dry it for me and put it away. He says, okay. Okay, so now I'm just smoothing it out. That's all I'm doing now. Make it one even layer. And try not to show any gaps in between because you want it to be one even layer. I know we're going to break it up and crumble it, but you want to break it up and crumble it in one even scoop as much as possible. Oh yeah, really measure yourself so you don't shortchange your paper. Okay, come on. Okay, I can come back here now. Here we go. As long as the food is not touching the pan, I'm good to go. Okay, so now let me just smooth it out. I'm trying to do an even layer. You don't have to be so precise like I'm doing it, but my OCD kicks in and mentally I couldn't handle it. Oh, my oven's ready. That was another thing too. I was waiting for my oven. So I wasn't killing time just to be killing time. I was just waiting for my oven. But now that it's ready, that was a pretty good timing. Okay, with clean fingers, rinse, smooth out, get all the stuff off your spoon. There we go. Taste test. Sugar, sugar, sugar. Woo! Okay, let's bring the oven over to the oven. turn them around and see. Okay, yeah, you can see everything. We're good to go. Okay. This pan's heavy to begin with, much less with food on it. I'm putting mine on the second to the bottom rack, because the last time when I made it was in that same rack, and I like that rack better. The top one cooks it a little too brown in the bottom part, and the top part's not very brown. And the top rack, a little too brown on the top, not very good on the bottom. And the middle rack, it's kind of like half and half. So this last time that was a good spacing, so I think that's what I'm going to do from now on. I put them my little notes there. The second to the bottom rack is where I'm going to do my granola, the chunky granola. Okay, so now we'll bring it back. In 20, I'm going to set my timer for 20 minutes. I'm going to flip it, set timer for another 20 minutes, flip it again, and then if it's golden brown, we're good to go. But if not, I'm going to do it at 10-minute increments and flip it every 10 minutes until it gets golden brown to the texture that I like. Bring it back. Then we're going to do the taste test. It'll turn red. Okay, so timer went up. Now we're going to do our first flip. And you will not be able to do it all at one whack because it's going to crumble on you. But try not to break it up too much more than that. Okay, because you want them to clump in big pieces, and you may have to do this 2 or 3 times depending on your oven. And also the humidity. It's raining out today, and I'm sweating right now because I was out of the garage. I had to get some buckets to refill my flour buckets. Oh, I just messed up. Honey's gonna grab that. Be careful. Okay. Ooh, I like all my pecans are in here. This is going to be some good granola. Another thing when you use parchment, it helps you in the flipping process. Okay, I got some granola in here. Oh, hot, 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 hot. That's hot. Okay. Alrighty, now I'm going to smooth this back out. It's already starting to clump. Look at that. See how that one little clumped right there? See that? Oh, that's hot, that's hot, that's hot. Hubby's like, what? What I wanted to show you. A little sacrifice for my subscribers is worth it. Okay, now it's all smooth out. I'm going to turn this off because hubby don't want to be in the video. And he's going to put it back in the oven. I'm going to set a timer for another 20 minutes and we'll see if we need to do another 10 like we did the first batch. We'll bring you back. Okay, hubby just took out the granola out of the oven. I'll get myself a little bowl. I like crunchy, and since this is mostly mine, see how the edges got all nice? I'm going to bring it closer to it so you can see. See how the edges got all nice and crunchy? A little toasty, which is exactly what I care for. Now this middle part, not so much, but that's okay. I'm hoping it gets nice and clumpy. And as it cools, it will get more clumpy because I didn't remember that from my first batch. How it did clump up more as it cooled off. So now we're going to go ahead and let this cool by itself. I'm going to take a couple. There's one. Let that cool off. Let me get a crunchy one. Let that cool off a little bit. Then we'll do the taste test. And this is going to be my breakfast for the week at the office. And I really enjoy the clumps because number one, when I have to eat at my desk because that's just part of my job. And yeah, I could take 15 minutes and then take a break, take 15 minutes and then eat. But when I get to the office at 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm hungry. And this stuff, this recipe, at least for me, totally fills me up. I don't even get hungry. I no longer have a mid-afternoon snack like I used to always do, which is one of the reasons why I put on the weight, because I used to always have a mid-morning snack, and I always had a mid-afternoon snack. Well, now I don't get I bring it to work, but I haven't eaten it, so I quit bringing it about 3 weeks ago because I've made this, and it fills me up. So come lunchtime at 12, which my lunch break is from 12 to 1, I'm not even hungry. So I don't even go to take my lunch. I take my lunch from 12 to 1, and I do some personal stuff at the office because I do a lot of that stuff. And that's what I've been doing for the last 39 years and my job as an insurance team agent. And then around 2:30, that's when I start to get hungry. So that's when I reheat my lunch or whatever it is that I brought. And so I eat my lunch between 2:30. And then when I get home, it's more like 6, and then I don't get to eat till like 6:37 by the time supper's ready. Sometimes supper's ready when I get home, but typically it's not even ready till 6:30. So that makes my 3 meals for the day. And I do not have a mid-morning snack. I do not have a mid-afternoon snack. Sometimes I do have a mid-night evening snack, which is like around 8 or 9 o'clock at night. Not very often, but sometimes I do. But I'm trying to make sure that it's a low-cal item, just enough to curb the little. I don't think so much. I know it's not hunger because my stomach is not grumbling. It's more that I think I want it because mentally I've been used to for the last 40 years of snacking at that hour. Because I typically don't go to bed till around 12, 12:30, 1 o'clock. It's between 12 and 1 is typically when I go to bed. And I don't get up until at 6:55. I wait till the last minute, and I try not to snooze, but I do snooze sometimes, and I only have 2 snoozers, so that's it, and I gotta get up. And I hurry up and I hustle, get myself ready, and I hustle, get out of here, get my stuff, get everything ready out of here, because I don't give myself extra time. I just chose not to. That's just the way I am. I know my faults, and I live with them because that's just the way it is. So anyway, and I'm yakking right now because I'm waiting for this to cool off. Okay, so here is the little crunchy one. Okay, let me bring that close to you. See that? That's a little nice crunchy one. Now that is some good stuff. I like this recipe. Number 1, it clumps. Number 2, it's not overly sweet like the granola that I used to make. Because I made it with a honey and a guava. I never used maple syrup. I guess maybe the maple syrup is what it is. I don't really know. But I like this recipe a lot. Now I'm going to get the one that's not so crunchy, not so toasty. Okay, it's clumping. See how it is clumping? It's a little softer. It's a little more chewy. And that was the part in the center. So, this is a definite, you need to try this. I'm trying to talk and eat. You need to try this, and I would love to read your comments of what you think of this recipe. Whoever the creator is, and I will put all that information in the description box. This is a win-win for me. And I've been eating granola $2.40. So about 35 years. I didn't start eating granola until she was already in kindergarten. So about 35 years I've been eating granola. But it's always been the store-bought granola. Until maybe 13, 14 years ago I started making it, but it was just ever so often, not very often, because again, remember I said I haven't really been much of a baker or cooker, a cook or a baker and stuff, so then it was just easier for me just to buy the store-bought stuff. But when times are rough, or just because you want to control what the ingredients are, because you know everything that's in there, and there's no preservatives, making your stuff on your own is a win-win. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next video. Don't forget to hit like, comment, and share. Give me my thumbs up when you get a chance. And I really would love to hear your version of your granola, because I would like to try it. And I'll post a video on it and give you some kudos of who you are. And whether it's good or bad, I'm still going to try it because you're one of my subscribers and you made a comment, and I'm going to follow up because I'm still a little bitty person. I'm not very big, but I'm hoping to grow. And we thank you so much. We take care. We catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.